riding experience for sport bike fans. KTM says the 990 RCR brings race emotion to everyday streets, and excitement is already building among riders worldwide.
Well, I mean, to put something like this into words is quite a challenge. You know, I was saying to the media that originally we have the concept of never stop. This is actually closely related to the customer, where we want them to have the mindset when riding the RC to never stop. What we found after coming out of our insolvency proceedings at KTM, we realized really quickly that this campaign is actually quite larger than what we anticipated in the beginning, and we realized that the never stop actually resonated right the way through KTM, because what we saw our teams do at the head office as well as our subsidiaries was stand together and basically never stop. You know, packing the trucks to come out here to Spain, to Sevilla, was quite a surreal moment, because even leaving Matikofen, it was quite difficult for us to, let's say, put two and two together. Reality only really hit us when we touched down in Spain and arrived at the circuit and actually saw the bikes physically being offloaded by the guys. And I think that was the moment that we all looked at each other, a major sigh of relief, because of course, you know, November last year in 2024, we showed the bike at EICMA and were prepared to go to market in February of 2025. So a massive, I would say, warm moment for the whole KTM team, and especially when the media started to arrive. You know, some familiar faces that we haven't seen for quite some time, and it was almost like a reunion. You know, motorcycling brings people together, and KTM is full of people that are super passionate about what they do. This is quite easy to see in the last 4 episodes on the behind the scenes of the KTM 990 RCR. You'll see that every single hand that touches this project is somebody oozing orange blood, you know. So for us to be here, we have a lot of R&D guys, the guys that are fully responsible for this, plus the product guys. It's all together with the events team and the guy standing behind the camera right now, the photo video team. Man, it's almost like cheating in life. We feel like we are living in a dream.
I'm the event manager, and I'm organizing this kind of event, the KTM 990 RCR Media Launch. When we want to organize a media launch, we have to start with the kickoff. During this kickoff, we got all the important information. What kind of bike is it? Are the location ideas? And some more information. Then we're going to do a location research, and after this research, we're going on location check. We're looking there for hotels, for the restaurants and more. After this location check, we have a lot of meetings with the campaign manager and also with the marketing workshop, who also support us during this kind of event. To talk about the event, we're planning 2 riding days. One day is street riding and one day is track riding. The first day will be street riding, and the departure here from the track during a big street loop, and they have some photo points and video points during the street loop, and then they arrive at the lunch and riding back on their own or in tour guide groups back to the track. My biggest challenge for this media launch was to find the road blockers for the street riding, because it was really spontaneously, and to find someone like within 2 weeks to take over this kind of job was really hard. And it's really important to have this, because the journalists are also allowed to ride on their own, so there are no cars, and also our car also drive on the left side. For sure, we have to take care of a small emergency plan. For the street riding, we contact a hospital that they're aware of this kind of event. And the emergency situation at the track is like we have an ambulance directly from the track and they're supporting us here.
So the location Sevilla honestly was quite an easy one to choose. You know, coming out to the motorcycle we've never produced before, the natural fitting setting had to be a track we've never used before. So we hunted around and we've built a lot of good relationships in and around us. And David Garcia, an ex-World Superbike rider himself, owner of another track in Spain where we hosted the 30 Years of Duke in 2024, we got chatting and he said, hey, guys, I'm building a new track and I think it would suit one of the bikes that you're about to bring out. So we got into discussions, and once we saw the layout of the track, and what was a great honor for us is we were the first people to circulate laps around here. If you look at the video that we did with a certain Danny Pedrosa, the circuit is quite fresh. And you know, we really wanted to go home with the new location, a new style. This leads into the choice of the rider to tell the story. You know, again, alluding back to this never stop concept, we look at Danny Pedrosa as an absolute icon of the motorcycling world. And in 2024, having finished on a podium as a test rider at Jerez, you know, was for us a really motivational side of himself in his career. And we had to link the story to the motorcycle because he oozes this never stop mentality that we wish for our riders to have. So a fitting location, a fitting rider, and I think the best way to tell the story for this project. Normally, the marketing team don't work super close with research and development. We have a team that acts as our bridge to R&D, but in this case, we couldn't allow this. We needed to get close to the guys, so our relationships became super strong. And I think this is also really easy to see in the behind the scenes. If you watch the previous episodes, this is a really close collaboration. So for us, even if we're in marketing, each person inside of marketing comes from a racing background or a motorcycling background. And I think this is what makes us stand out over the others. So how do we bring this into a motorcycle that our customers get to use on the road? A major influence between R&D, motorsport, as well as our product management team, who act as the customer in this case, really had quite a tough job. They've got to make something that's appealing but also functional at the same time. We don't want a motorcycle that just looks the part, it needs to do the job. And that's where this motorcycle, even though it's in the mid-range segment, it's kind of one of the top tier level motorcycles because of the technology that's packed into the motorcycle. For us, it's really, we want the riders to feel, I mean, actually, I don't think there's any translation needed. You know, when a rider gets onto the motorcycle, they feel it. It's something that words sometimes actually can't explain. I know I'm in the marketing team and I should be really good at putting words together, but this is one of those motorcycles that honestly, I think if you get onto it, you'll understand.
All right, send them in.
We always throw the guys in, put them on a track for a day and send them back home. And I come from the media world, and for me, I remember this being too short, and our dream was to go, hey, should we do one day on street and one day on track? And we ran the idea past a few of the media, and man, they were like, hey, if you can get this done, this would be incredible, you know, because nobody really does this. Day one, we go into the street riding day, so with nothing to hide. We really chose a route that was not ideal, and the main reason was to show how good the motorcycle is on varied terrain, super bumpy roads, open roads, tight and twisty roads, this type of thing. And And from the feedback from the media, I think this was quite a good choice. Then day 2, one of the more exciting days where they get to maybe extend themselves a little bit, and legally we put them on the track for the day. But in true KTM style, we had to keep our ready to race DNA alive. So naturally, towards the end of the day, we had to put a race together. We had to get the guys on the grid and let all bars hang out and send it absolutely flat out.
First impressions, KTM RC 990R. Easy to ride, lots of torque, good brakes, good electronics. So the bike is, I don't know this track, and it's quite a tricky track, so the bike is making it very easy for me. And I like also how much the level of performance this bike offers. So I'm happy.
What makes the bike unique on track is that usability is transferred to the track. So you're not kind of biting the screen or holding on for dear life to put in a fast lap time. The lap times are coming without screaming it and just using the torque and usability and drivability of the bike. It might look like a MotoGP bike for the road, but it's not as intimidating as it looks. It's very usable, it's very friendly, and with excellent rider aids, you can trim it to your level, the way and how you ride.
If I had to describe the spirit of the motorbike in one sentence, I mean, how long could the sentence be? I think I said it quite well earlier, but it's almost one of those that I think when you ride the motorcycle, it'll speak to you in your own way, in your own language that only you would understand. So, you know, when I look at this event and everything that happened, and, you know, if you ask me the question, what makes me most proud, I think it's to be a part of something great like KTM. You know, we've been through some tough times over the last year, and to watch the teams pull it through like they have and make the commitment to you out there, the customer. You know, these guys have never stopped with their dedication to bring a product that is, I don't think, ever been before as refined as what this KTM 990 RCR is. And this makes me super proud to be able to present this to the world. And I certainly, for one, can't wait to see the forums explode with excitement once they start to ride the motorcycle.